High definition news for Tuesday, May 3rd, 2016. I'm Jeff Kaufman.
This just coming in, as CNN crews are responding to an explosion.
We begin with breaking news, a scary explosion at the Exxon-Mobil refinery in Torrance.
People living in the area reported hearing a loud explosion that shook the ground.
This tower is just spewing a lot of the flames.
Nearby schools were initially told to shelter in place.
This is not normal. If you live in the Torrance area, you will probably see a flicker of a flame here and there, but it's never this big.
In the 15 months since the massive explosion at Exxon-Mobil's refinery rocked Torrance and much of the South Bay, there have been meetings and hearings and protests. And to hear some experts tell it, the loss of the refinery's output caused Californians to pay more for gas at the pump. Now, a judge has given Exxon-Mobil the okay to crank up the refinery's output to 100% for the first time since the explosion in February of 2015.
I think fire it up.
But not everybody in the South Bay agrees with Jose Herrera. An environmental group had filed suit to block Exxon-Mobil from increasing output at the refinery, but a judge yesterday cast the objections aside and gave Exxon-Mobil the okay to bring the Torrance refinery online at full speed. The judge said ExxonMobil would be harmed if it could not operate the refinery. The company has said it's losing $1.5 million a day with the plant running at only 20% of capacity. Oil industry analysts have also said the loss of the refinery's output is what's kept gas prices at the pump higher in California than in other parts of the country. ExxonMobil says it does not have a scheduled date and time for cranking things up in Torrance, but under an order from the South Coast Air Quality Management District, it will have to give 48 hours notice before it throws the switch, and it can only operate between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. The AQMD also fined ExxonMobil $5 million for safety violations related to the 2015 explosion, which knocked out the refinery's air pollution control system. Torrance School District administrators say they will email parents when word comes that the refinery is going to fire up, and parents will be able to have their kids opt out of outdoor school activities that day. ExxonMobil has sold the Torrance refinery to an East Coast independent operator for more than $500 million, but the sale is contingent on ExxonMobil finishing repairing the damage from last year's explosion and returning the refinery to 100% operation. For the third time since the U.S. withdrew combat troops from Iraq in 2011, an American serviceman has been killed in combat operations there. The Pentagon confirms that the American was killed by enemy fire during a battle with forces of the group Islamic State near the northern city of Erbil. The American was acting as an advisor to Kurdish troops fighting with the Iraqi military against the Islamic State forces. No word yet on which branch of the military he belonged to. The polls are open right now in Indiana, and reporters say the lines to vote are long, really long. The pre-election polls show Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton with large leads. A win in Indiana could get Trump awfully close to the 1,237 delegates he needs to clinch the Republican nomination. This is what he told a rally in South Bend on Sunday.
If we win Indiana, it's over, okay? And then we can focus on crooked Hillary. Please, let's focus on Hillary.
Ted Cruz discovered one of the risks of boots-on-the-ground campaigning yesterday in Marion, Indiana, when he got into it with some Trump supporters.
Sir, America is a better country
Without you.
Thank you for those kind sentiments. Now, do you know on the wall that Donald told the New York Times editorial board he's not going to build a wall and he's not going to deport anyone?
You're lying. Once again, lying Ted!
Why do you stand for it? You seem to have real problems with anger. I would advise decaffeinating brands. They work just as well.
Because condescending sarcasm works so well on the campaign trail. Florida Governor Rick Scott is in California, but he's not on vacation. He's here trying to get California businesses to leave the Golden State and decamp to Florida. From the High Definition News Data Desk, Florida is not the only state that has tried to get California businesses to pack up and move out of here, of course, just the latest one. You may have also heard talk over the past few months about people giving up on the Golden State and that more are moving away than are moving in. Except it's not true. We're still 4 years away from the next census, but the California Finance Department has been doing some counting of its own and estimates in a new report that the state's population rose by 0.5% last year. That's 348,000 people. That brings California's population to 39,256,000. The state uses housing data and other statistics to estimate the population between censuses, or would that be censi? Anyway, since that data is several months old, there's a good chance there are actually more than 40 million Californians now.
Let me welcome everybody to the Wild Wild West, a state that's untouchable like Elliot Ness.
Whether it's 39 or 40 million, California's population is bigger than Canada's, bigger than Australia's, bigger than all but 32 countries on the planet. LA is still California's biggest city, and the state says for the first time there are more than 4 million Angelinos.
Worldwide, let 'em recognize from Long Beach to Rosecrans, bumping and grinding like a slow jam.
Long Beach is the 7th biggest city in California with 484,958 people, up 0.7% from a year ago. That is Tupac Shakur with Dr. Dre showing some California love.
I really feel blessed about the way that people accept, understand, appreciate, and love my son.
And that is Tupac Shakur's mom, Afeni Shakur, in 2011. We received word this morning that Afeni Shakur died late last night in Marin County. The sheriff's department there says the cause of death is still under investigation, but the 911 call from Shakur's houseboat in Sausalito around 9:30 reported a heart attack. She died at the hospital about an hour later. Tupac Shakur was shot to death in Las Vegas in 1996, his murder still unsolved. After his death, Afeni became the manager of her son's estate and the guardian of his legacy. The New York Daily News reports Tupac's catalog earns about $900 million a year. Afeni channeled some of that into a foundation named after Tupac that encourages teenagers to get involved in the arts. Afeni Shakur was a member of the Black Panthers in the late 1960s, and in '69 was one of 21 people tried for plotting to bomb 2 New York City police stations and a school. She was pregnant with Tupac during the trial and gave birth to him shortly after she and the other defendants were found not guilty. She struggled with addiction in the 1980s, became estranged from Tupac, but they reconciled in the 90s. She said she never thought about the way Tupac died, only about how he lived as an artist. His music and poetry kept Tupac in the present tense for his mom.
I actually can hear my son's laugh almost any time I want to. Lots of mothers, don't have that gift. I understand that I have a gift that other people don't have, and I appreciate it.
Afeni Shakur, Tupac's mom, was 69. Now you know what we know. I'm Jeff Kaufman, High Definition News.